Would have a Showtime cat settled. They're off of the Benz cat. Hustled out of there, Sky's Not Falling, RB's the boss from the rail, Prince Perez of the early speed mix, and Mata there too. Mata's coming up at the far outside, now moving along into third, and Showtime Cat a couple of lengths off the early pace. Sky's Not Falling. Here's Commanding General on the lead now. Commanding General and Mata there the outside. Prince Perez third, Showtime Cat is in fourth. Witty is moving fifth on the outside. Sky's Not Falling in between horses now. Five from the front. RB's the boss is next, followed by B Determined racing back of the pack. Bossman JJ. Golden G trails the field. They race to the top of the stretch now. Mata on the outside, Commanding General. They're head-to-head for the lead. Witty trying to level off, but a little bumping going on there. Prince Perez running on gamely in between horses. Sky's Not Falling. Chiming through in between horses. Sky's Not Falling and Witty. They're down to settle it. Witty, Sky's Not Falling. Sky's Not Falling. Witty, nothing between them. Witty, the classy Witty. Sky's Not Falling battles back. Witty. Witty, Sky's Not Falling, and Mata was third. Prince Perez, the photo there, next with Showtime Cat. Would have a Showtime Cat settled. They're off of the Benz cat. Hustled out of there, Sky's Not Falling, RB's the boss from the rail, Prince Perez of the early speed mix, and Mata there too. Mata's coming up at the far outside, now moving along into third, and Showtime Cat a couple of lengths off the early pace. Sky's Not Falling. Here's Commanding General on the lead now. Commanding General and Mata there the outside. Prince Perez third, Showtime Cat is in fourth. Witty is moving fifth on the outside. Sky's Not Falling in between horses now. Five from the front. RB's the boss is next, followed by B Determined racing back of the pack. Bossman JJ. Golden G trails the field. They race to the top of the stretch now. Mata on the outside, Commanding General. They're head-to-head for the lead. Witty trying to level off, but a little bumping going on there. Prince Perez running on gamely in between horses. Sky's Not Falling. Chiming through in between horses. Sky's Not Falling and Witty. They're down to settle it. Witty, Sky's Not Falling. Sky's Not Falling. Witty, nothing between them. Witty, the classy Witty. Sky's Not Falling battles back. Witty. Witty, Sky's Not Falling, and Mata was third. Prince Perez, the photo there, next with Showtime Cat. Official. Cats, bred in Pennsylvania by Elizabeth Merriman, owned and trained by Elizabeth Merriman. Back-to-back wins, Javion Toledo. Intrepid Daydreamer to shine again. Back again with Witty in the Benz Cat, unofficial. 73852.
This is the race named by historic Ben's Cat, and what a horse to win it today in Witty. I am sitting here with Liz Merriman, his owner and biggest cheerleader, and let's talk a little bit about, let's just touch on these cheerleading skills, because every time Witty has come and run into Maryland, I can hear Liz from about 200 yards away, if not a little bit longer, from the top of the stretch. But today was a little bit different. You were a little bit quiet up until the very end.
Yes, I was just sitting there praying. His trip worked out, and there was some bumping at the head of the lane, and I was kind of holding my breath. And then he looked like at the very end he really needed me to cheer a little.
So of course, we have the very prolific family with ZZ Zoom Zoom, Half Caravel, but talk about your time with Witty and this first stakes win on the turf. I mean, so much has to be going through you right now.
Yeah, I mean, the family is just amazing. The mayor's been so good to me, and Caravel, last time I was in this winner circle, she was winning the very one on Black Eyed Susan Day, which was incredibly exciting. And for him to follow up and have his first turf win here, I was worried about the distance being very short for him because he'd prefer it longer and firmer funny combination, but that's what he would like. So I was kind of holding my breath about the trip and the distance and all that, but it worked out.
It did work out. We were, we didn't quite see him at the top of the stretch. It was till we got to the middle of the stretch when we saw him. I mean, when the gates opened and you're watching through binoculars and that whole trip, I mean, what was going in once you saw him break out of the gate, and just take it from there for us?
Well, he broke really well, and then he kind of took a few strides and sort of dropped back, like, oh, I'm kind of struggling to get my feet under him. And he dropped quite far back, and then Jevian got him going, and he kind of got in his stride and really got rolling, but he had to come quite wide, obviously, at that point. And then coming into the lane, there was a lot of jostling and bumping around, and I was kind of nervous for him because he's such a big horse. I mean, last time at Parks, he jumped a spot in the turf and lost his footing and lost by a head because he couldn't get his striding back in time. So
good to have all the luck today. And we discussed this off camera time ago earlier. He's always had a little bit, he hasn't been the quickest out of the gate, but last time out he did pretty well. And did you have that concern going for the 5 furlongs today?
I did. I feel like since switching to the turf, he can get a better hold of it behind, so he breaks a little better than he did on the dirt, and that's one of the main things that's kept us on the turf.
Absolutely. Now, listen, relish in this moment because it's such an awesome connection moment. But I mean, any big hopes for him to round out 2023, to continue 2023?
I mean, all things working out well, I'd love to go to the Maryland Million turf sprint with him, if everything would work, and then give him a nice winter break and call it a year.
Here's hoping. There we have it. Whitty here in the Ben's Cat. Super fitting for today, a $3.60 winner.
Scratch 3 Moofy, 5 Unruly Julie, 7 Cotile, 9 Queen Judith, 12 My Risky Affair, Forest Boyce on the 8 Creative Cairo. 9th race, the Weather Vane Stakes, scratch 6 Fancy Joke, 7 is 1 over. 10th race, the Baltimore-Washington International Turf Cup, Grade 3, scratch 1 Doppelganger for Wolfie's Dyna Ghost, 5 Casadero, 6 Business Model, 8 T at 1. $2 exacta of the 6 $8, $13.40 try. Dollar Superfecta 83.40, High Five 150.40. Carryover in the High Five 3,000.